Hello friends, Stacy Anfinson here with your Tarport market update for June of 2026. We're in the heat of July, so let's see what happened in the month of June. Here's our traditional end of month inventory metrics. Light blue line is total inventory, dark blue line is resale inventory. Total inventory up 9%, resale up 19%. That's a very strong headline grabbing percentage, but if you go all the way back to we're at 54.64, you have to go all the way back between 2014 and 2015 before we were at that number. Certainly had a population increase since that time. So 19% is great, but it is still well below where we need to be in terms of the people moving in here and their demand for housing. A couple comparative metrics coming up. NAR reported some pending sale metrics and their closed sale metrics, and they're both not what we would call positive. So let's just see how we're doing compared to how the national market is. We're up 3% compared to where we were in June of last year. NAR reports that national is down 1% in terms of pending listings. Sold listings, NAR reports national is up 3%, but look at us, woohoo, up 15%. That's really, really strong. So good for the market on that. But once again, if you go back to 2021, we're still well below where we were at the COVID influence peaks. Second quarter sold listings pretty much mimic that. Second quarter of this year up 7% compared to second quarter of last year. June average days on market, this was really an area that I saw was a big change. I mean, 30 days from one month to the next is pretty unprecedented. You have to go back to 2014 versus 2015, when it went from 96 to 58. So not really sure what to make of that. Is it a continuing trend as we're pushing towards 90 days? If you've heard me speak about this before, relocation world, it's a 90 to 120 day marketing time when we do our relocation appraisals. Most everybody in here that's listening to this is familiar with the 60 to 90 day marketing time. So while it's gone up, we're still well below where we were in the historical average. If you want to look over 10 years, 20 years, so 72, while it's an increase, we'll see if that's I don't think we're going up to 102 next month, but we'll see. I don't think we are, because here's the 13th consecutive June with an undersupply of housing. That's just not really helpful for increasing days on the market. So again, I'm not sure if this June DOM was an anomaly, because it is an average, it's not a median. So you could have had a listing on there that was on the market for a significant period of time, and we didn't pick it up as an outlier. But 13 consecutive months, this is really the foundation for house price metric increases. As we see an average sales price, the average resale sales price was $580 during June of this year, up 2% compared to $569.4. Don't look back to 2020 unless you bought a house back then. $335. We're almost at another 100,000. We'll be at 10. We'll be at 2x in terms of that metric, which has just never ever happened before. So while that is a stunning thing, look at what's happened really if you're going to apply the national average for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage to the average sales price. We've done that for each month. These are the months of June dating back to 2020. But look at the last 4 Junes. It's really been flat. So I look at that as a stable pricing environment for buyers, and I think that's pretty good. They did not have a stable pricing environment when you went from 2020 June to June of 2022. So I call that a positive for the market. So how can that happen? We're really kind of violating a law of residential real estate, where you have interest rates going up and pending sales and closed sales going up as well. They usually go in opposite directions. So if you've been at a traffic light recently and you're not looking at your phone, which I'm hoping you're not doing, you may be looking at license plates, and you can see the license plates in Massachusetts, New York State, Washington, D.C., Miami, lots of other ones as well. This is per the IRS. They do a migration survey every year. For some reason, it's not real time, and it's 4 years behind. So this is the most recent migration survey, which is 2022 to 2023. This really hasn't changed much. These numbers have been very similar over the 10 or 20 years I've been looking at. You see the median sales price in the second column. You see the dollar difference comparing the median sales price within the MSA, which is Metropolitan Statistical Area, and our Metropolitan Statistical Area. And then the final column on the right is the percentage difference between those two. Now, it gets a little squishy when you start doing this because, there's areas in Boston where you can't get anything for under $1 million. Certainly in Manhattan, maybe $2 or $3 million. But this is a broader geographic area that we're comparing to. And so it's as apples to apples as we can get. I wouldn't necessarily worry about the numbers and specifically the numbers, but I would look at the percentage differences and the dollar differences. Whenever you've got six figures in terms of delta between these two medians and you sell in that area and you come to another area, what are you going to do with that delta? You're going to apply it towards the house price here. So if somebody from Boston comes down here and sees that the average is 8075 and they look at the same thing and it's 375 down here, they're going to go, wow. So that's kind of, I think, is the big foundation and maybe the big explanation as to why you have house price increases and you have metrics for pending listings and sold listings increase in spite of mortgage rates going up. So that's my take on that. If you've got a different take, just hit me up in the chat and we can discuss it. So here are June takeaways. Inventory continues to increase. Pending listing metrics are mixed compared to national. Sold listing metrics are better than the national markets. Monthly principal and interest have been stable over the past 4 months of June. And residential metrics are positively impacted by inbound population demographics. So that's all I've got for now. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. My services, as always, include appraisals for mortgage, relocation appraisals, attorneys, sellers, buyers, estates, tax purposes, all that stuff, subscribers to the TAR Report, and consulting. So here's my contact information. If you like the video, please click on the like. Please subscribe to the TAR Report YouTube channel if you have not. And we will see you next month.